Doing today. I'm actually going to make this one of these guys in here. Bump, bump. That way when I look this way, I see ya. What's up, everybody? How we doing today? Strider and I came into the facility today. I'm very excited, very happy. Finally got some Amazon stuff delivered that I've been looking forward to. So we're going to give it a couple more minutes. When 1 minute on the live hits, I'm going to go to this like starting soon thing. And once that finally plays, then I'll start getting into it. So we'll just let this kind of go for a second. I want to get the text notification from Twitch that I'm live, so that way I know I'm live on there. I'll wait till I get a live logo on a few of the others. So we'll just hold on for a sec. Alrighty, we hit the 1 minute mark. Boom. I just got the notification that we're live too, so that's exciting. Alrighty, so hello everybody and welcome. This is what like we could consider like office hours, stuff like that. Today I am going to put together and walk you guys through how I come up with training bats. So this is something. The other day, I sometimes, and then for those who have worked with me, I've told you this and stuff, like I have dreams of drills or I have like dreams of drills or training tools, or I always like, it comes to me when I'm like just hanging out, you know what I mean? And so the other day, I was sitting there and I was thinking, I go, vertical bat angle is such an important stat or data point for players to have, but it's one of those to where unless you're swinging and doing it, you're not going to be able to get the data point or the results of a vertical bat angle, because you have to like hit something for blast motion to record that data. And so unless you're hitting and seeing what you get from that, which is again a result, you can't fix the results because the results is in the past. Like you get the result from what you did in the past. So there isn't really a way for a player. Right here, what we're looking at is the vertical bat angles. In the red is Mike Trout's average vertical bat angle to each pitch location. And then in the white is what MLB average is. Unless you are hitting, you're not going to get the result of what your vertical bat angle is. And unless you know what the feeling of having a 45-degree vertical bat angle to the low and away pitch, unless you're comfortable doing that already, your body's not going to allow yourself to get to that position to begin with. And so I was trying to figure this out because for me, the biggest thing that I have my players try and understand is the feel. I'm not school. I don't care if you can memorize the name or the title of what we're doing. I care if you know the content of what we're doing. I care if you know how to do the drill. I care if you know the purpose of the drill. I care if you know why we're doing this drill. For me, that's what I value. And so to have athletes that maybe they've never been used to having their bat go as low as a 45-degree bat angle, like maybe they're just not used to that. And if you're not used to something, your body's not going to willingly put itself in that position. And while you're trying to be successful, it's going to be very difficult. A lot of the time, that's where you see players start to baby stuff, but then they'll get it when they baby it, but then when they try and swing hard, they don't get it, and then they just get right away from it because, oh, well, I can't do it, like it's messing up my swing. Well, no, you've just taken 4 swings on something that is the exact opposite of what you're used to and what you're comfortable with. Obviously, it's not going to feel right. Obviously, it's not going to feel comfortable. So, athletes that unless they're getting the feeling right away, it's very difficult for them to try and trust that process unless you got a good hitting coach, unless you got a good trainer and stuff like that, to where You're like, hey, I know it looks like I'm doing bad right now. I feel like I'm doing bad right now. Maybe my parents think that I'm doing bad right now, but I trust this, instructor that they're getting me to the other side of where I need to be. And unless you have something like what I'm about to showcase, like I said, you have to make the swing to get the result of the data point. And so if you're not comfortable enough to get the result of a 45-degree vertical bat angle, you're never going to be able to recreate it because your body won't let you do it. And so what I was thinking of, and what I ended up putting together, it first started off as, what if I can get a long bubble? Here, I don't want to showcase what I've kind of decided to go with. I want to start with what I started off with. So one second. So right here, let's say you've got like your generic bat, right? So this would be 0 vertical bat angle, and this is, I believe, -90, okay? Or, well, for this one, 90. So right here, we're going to be at 45, less than 45, more than 45. What I was thinking is, if we can look at Mike Trout's average vertical bat angles for each location and MLB's, what if instead of necessarily, you have that bubble, right? Okay. You've got, I had some. Like you have one of those bubble levelers where it has got that bubble. Bubble goes this way, bubble goes that way. What if instead of trying to find what would be considered level, what if you can try and find these angles? So what if instead of having the bubble be saying that this is level, what if when we tilted it, we said this is what you need for a low and away or a high and away pitch? And then when you go a little bit further, this is the angle that you need for a, middle in pitch. And then you go a little further, and when the bubble's there, this is the angle you need for another, like middle. What if we were able to do that to where then the athlete can sit there, play around with, instead of needing to hit to get the result, what if instead they can just visually see what that looks like to get that angle? So now they're going to be a lot more trusting in that when they go to make this move, it's going to make sense for them to make this move because they're doing it and it feels right, okay? And then also, athletes going to trust it a little bit more because they can visually see it. Like the amount of learning that goes on with athletes and visual learning these days with how much technology and everything, the quick motor, like if they can't see it and if they can't recreate that feeling on their own, they're not going to trust the fact that they're going to be able to get to that point. So you got to be able to somehow create something that allows them to have that feeling. And so I first started off, like I said, with a bat like this. I wanted to get like a long, like foot-long bubble and just mark all the points of where that bubble would need to go, well, essentially, where that bubble would need to go to create that proper, or I guess the bubble would go over here because this would be the higher side, where your bat needs to be at for those pitch locations. Well, after that, it was very difficult to find a long level bubble like that. So I'm searching on Amazon, shout out Jeff, and I was like, this thing looks very good. This thing might be able to do it. Where's it at? I stumbled across this level gauge. And if you notice, it has angles on it. And so instead of creating those bubbles on my own, I can just say, hey, go to that angle. Go to this, go to that. You're like, okay. But now we have the issue of What's wrong with this bat? What could I do? Yeah, it rotates. So if I'm swinging like this and the leveler is like here, but then I rotate it, now I'm changing what I am going on level of. Wasn't there a company that makes something to where you can't rotate your hands? Yo, took a little trip to my local Play It Again Sports over here in Broomfield, and they hooked me up, dude. I hooked me up. I got 3 used youth bats. This is one of them. They had a couple other axe bats, but with this, and I'll bring over the other youth bats I got because there's some OGs back when I was like in middle school swinging youth bats. This is exactly what I'm looking for. So now we're going to switch you over to in the cage. While we do that, let me make sure that I've got my headphone. There we go. Now I'm on this guy too. There we go. Nick, Nickelodeon. All right. So now we're about to take it into the cage. What's up, everybody? So now I'm like, okay, what's the next step? So for me, what I'm trying to do is for that lone away pitch, for that high pitch, for that middle in pitch, like all of these pitch locations have 1, a different point of contact, and 2, a different vertical bat angle. So for me, if I can take this bat, essentially make it level, okay, so let's see, how am I going to make this thing level without it rotating on me? I guess that's one way that we can do it. All right, so we've got this bat. Try and figure out how to make it level. Oh, I guess I could go right. There we go. We're gonna take this little leveler. We're gonna see how this goes. Boom. So now I'm gonna have to try and make it to where it's a little bit easier to read the bubble, but boom. Wonder if I can. Oh man, that thing's sticky. Oh, there we go. All right, let's try this again. Let's see if we can put that a little bit more on the handle, actually. Let's try this guy right. Trying to find what would be a flat surface. Boom. Alrighty. I love it. Ugh. Is that easier to see? Oh yeah. Boom. Ho, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. We're going to bring it back to the solo chat. I just realized I haven't been talking to anybody. Sorry. So let's try that again. Now, when I go through, I don't know if you guys can see that little bead, essentially. Okay, boom. So you got this little bead right here. And when you lower the bat, the bead moves. So 45 is what he hits for the lone away pitch. So my bat angle needs to be there. Wonder if I was a lefty. No, lefties. Ooh, what if I put Velcro on this? Then I could just front, back. Oh, yeah, baby. All right, let's draw in some with a Sharpie where this is at right now. Because I want to make sure I can keep that Sharpie. I keep this. Okay. So if I was a lefty, how would I need to do this? Oh, did I lose the lid? No, the lid's right there. All right, so if I was a lefty, let's try this out. Let's do this again, folks. Actually, let's go to left-handed. So now, if I'm a lefty, same idea. How did I... There we go. So if I was a lefty, yep, it looks pretty level. Make it through all of that. Let's switch back to the solo. There we go. Dylan, appreciate you, bro. You're the chat. You ready for this? So I'm about to put this in right here. Cross-platform chat, add. There we go. Now you're actually going to be on the chat now too. Sorry about that, Dylan. Appreciate you, my guy. Don't know why this thing doesn't work for the blast motion. Oh, because that's blast motion, not. Thought that was beats. Oh, okay. So, how you doing today, Dill? What up, baby? Are you in school? Are you in school watching me? You better be out of school. It's okay. If you're not, I ain't gonna say. I ain't gonna tell anyone. I ain't gonna say a word. Is that better though? Can you hear me now, sir? Let me know. Dylan talking. 1, 2, 3. What a name. Hey, I'm good, dude. I'm good. I'm very actually excited for today. Pretty pumped, dude. No, you're not in school? You get out at 155? What? Hold on, dude. You get out at 155? Yo, if you wanted to start coming down before practice and do a little hitting or infield or anything like that, we can definitely do that, dude. If you get out at 155, if someone's able to drive you, like, dude, they could take you here, drop you off here, and then I'll take you to practices if they just want to pick you up. You let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. All right, so now we got the sticky stuff off the back. Now what we're going to do Yeah, what? I believe, so we're on a small amount of delay, so you could be responding to something I said like 4 minutes ago. So let me know. Yeah to what? Because I think I know what you're saying yeah to, but it's one of those things where if I'm wrong, that's not bet. Bet like, yeah, let's do this. Because if we're doing this, I'll bet. All right, bet. Got you. Say less. All right, so now we're going to put some athletic tape on the handle side of this, just so that way it is, I want it to be a semi-flat surface that I'm trying to do this to. Boom. I want to be easy for, boom, got a slightly level surface right there. Let me take this guy, practice if I can't bet, dude. How dope that'd be. Just stroll it to practice together if you've already had a little hitting session. It's like, the thing is we're never really going to like hit really at the outdoor practices, just because like you're all like the amount of reps that the quality of reps that we would get by practicing hitting outdoors versus hitting here, we would get so many more swings in here and productive swings rather than if we just went out and hit at the field like where we practiced yesterday, or not yet, 2 days ago, because think of how many stations we're able to do here. Think of like how many like different things we can do. Whereas when you go to practice outdoors, because you don't have like nets and you don't have all these other things, like you have to have a lot more people there to help like shag or pick up. So instead of you taking swings, now you have to have like, when one person or three people are hitting, you have to have like 6-10 people out shagging. Well, now you got 6 or 10 people just standing around, and versus like here, dude, when we're here, 1 person, 2 person, 3 people, 4 people can be getting in swings at the exact same time. Plus people doing game sense, plus people doing like, I don't know, other stuff. So that's why we won't really like hit at an outdoor practice. So if we're able to hit before that, how awesome. So now we're just covering up the fact that this little leveler was like made in China or some shit. I'm just putting athletic tape all on the back of this. I want the athletic tape or the back of this Velcro to stick really well. Boom. There we go. So now we got the back of it all good to go. I got a little athletic tape hanging off on the side over the edge. We'll trim that guy up. There we go. All right. Now we got to trim up the Velcro. And this is going to be a little half piece. How long does it need to be? Boom. How was school today, dude? What'd you learn? One thing you learned today in school. It's one thing you learned in school today. Doesn't even have to be like about school or about like learning. You find out one of your buddies has like a birthday. You find out a new rule about a game at recess or gym class or something like that. Boom. So now we've got Velcro on one side. I'm debating if I think I want to tape this down. Just so that way it stays. There we go. You didn't really learn anything except for that you have two. You learned something. There we go. I bet you're pumped about the 2 weeks left of school, though. Pumped. I'd be. There we go. So now we got the Velcro taped on there. So now we'll put on the other side of the Velcro on the leveler. Do you guys still even have like recess and stuff like that? Dope. What do you play during recess? Are you allowed to play stuff? For me, I always played soccer or kickball or flag football. or for a little bit, kids started bringing, like, we were allowed to bring in wiffle balls and wiffle ball bats, and then the teacher stopped that. I don't know why. Apparently a wiffle ball bat. Too much. Yeah, what? This is that thing we were just talking about. I wish I could just pull you up. If you're on like a video call. Basketball? Dope. You a hooper? You a big hooper, Dill? All right, so boom. Now we've got this. So if it's a righty, boom, like that. If it's a lefty, boom, like that. All right, now I do want to have this lined up with what I originally had. So I believe like this right here is what would be the lefty. Okay. Let's grab this gold, sort of. What do you mean, sort of? I bet you hoop, dog. You mean, sort of? I remember hooping with you for basketball and stuff, but... All right, now let's do the right-handed. Boom. There we go. There we go. Voila. The vertical bat. Ayo. Thank you, Dylan. Oh, we have another viewer in here now, too. We have Dylan and somebody else. Hello, somebody else. How you doing today? Voila. The vertical bat angle. Voila. I wanna bump on a... Yeah, sick. Well, thank you guys for joining. I've got to start putting together a practice plan. Now, I think I'm actually going to make this part of a drill today. I'm excited for it. But, oh, actually, no, I'm going to do a little other review. So like I was saying, how I got this at the Play It Again Sports over here in Broomfield. Might be creating something together here in the next little bit. So stay tuned for that. They had a really cool assortment. They had a lot of Cat 8s, a couple Cat 7s. I don't even know. They're up to the Cat 9, I think, now and stuff like that. But honestly, like, a bat's a bat. Like, I know that there are, like, hot bats. I know that there's, like, dead bats. I get that. But, like, if it was a good bat, I wish your practice. Unfortunately, not tonight. I've got another group that's going to be coming out here that I'm going to be working with here at the facility and stuff. But the coaches will be there for you, dude. I know. But that's on Tuesdays, I'll always be with you guys. Tuesdays, I'll always be with you guys. Thursdays, yeah. Unfortunately, I won't. But Tuesdays, I'm there, guy. I'm there. The other thing that I wanted to bring up is a couple of these other bats that were actually like being sold when I was in middle school. So, without further ado, this is called the Easton Surge. So I use this bat. This was one of the last what they call Besser bats, B-E-S-R, Besser. That was the certification before BB Core. BB Core is what high school and college players have to swing with now these days. This is what they call a hot bat, like an illegal hot bat. And so this, I was scrolling through, and drum roll. I found the youth version. I was able to somehow snag that. So I got this is a drop 8. This is drop 10. Drop 10. Easton Surge. Yeah. It was like 30 bucks. Boom. That's kind of sick. It's kind of neat. 30-inch drop 10. Nice. Next one. This is a 30-inch drop 9. And this is a bat that I think it was, I want to say this was a junior year DeMarini Voodoo. I believe so. But now we actually have a lot of Voodoos in here. So now we have this old Voodoo. We have this old Voodoo. And then we also have this old Voodoo from when I was in middle school too. So I'm trying to create like a nice little collection of like old bats in here, so having a fun time. So yeah, those are the other two bats. I'm really excited to kind of like showcase those. If anyone might be interested in me doing like a series where I swing youth bats off of the machine and just see how far I can, just see if like how God mode I could possibly get. I don't know. If that might be something you guys are interested in, let me know. But yeah, outside of that, thank you guys so much for joining. Dylan, appreciate you, my guy. Thank you for tuning in today. So have a great practice, everybody. Have a great rest of your day, and see you guys soon. Possibilities, paper, you're like a chaser. 5'6", but my money makes me 6'5". I told her to list song, I told her to list 5. Oh. 5'6", but my money makes me 6'5". I told her to list 5, I told her to list 5.